Okay, Unconventional Wisdom, CSE Investment Show podcast. And we're back for another Thursday, 10 o'clock, every Thursday here. And we've got our crew all assembled, Cezanne and Joni and Randy and myself and Keith and Dirk are attempting to get in now. We talk about all the time this CalPERS board out in California that handles all the investments for all the cities and all of that, and the police and everything. Well, it came out the other day. Not only they kind of a screwed up outfit with a bunch of incumbents running it, but they actually lost money last year. I think around 2% or something like that. But now they're starting to cut back, and they announced they're having a meeting. I think the meeting's today, where they're slashing pension benefits by 63%. 63%. And this first, unfortunate group of towns is Azusa, yes, Covina, Glendora, West Covina. And, that's a pretty big, hit. And the reason I bring that up is that this is why it's so important to do this stuff yourself. Hey, there's Dirk. Any more birds hit the window, Dirk? Your mic's off, I guess.
He's muted.
Yeah. But anyhow, it's just ridiculous, and you're dependent upon these people that are supposed to know what they're doing. And now, you're in your 60s and 70s, and your retirement benefits are being cut by 63%. And in the editorial this weekend in the Cal Report, I read a comparison. You're always seeing these people that write these outfits that write the letters, and you save this much money, and you do this, you do that. And in 45 years, if you start at 25, you retire at 65. So in 40 years, in their examples, they're going to have $1.2 million. $1.2 million in 40 years. That isn't even going to buy a cheap car in 40 years. And you got to save, and they tell you how you got to save every month. And of course, you can't have a nice home, you have a nice car. So I just ran a comparison between their projections. If you took 25, you're making $40,000 a year, and you save $6,000. And it's not exact and precise, because over time, you probably get raises and stuff. But if for their example, they just use a static 40,000, and at the end of 40 years, you had $1.2 million. Again, that's assuming everything went perfect. And they even listed all the things that I talk about all the time that go wrong. So we're still got to get past that. Everything has to be perfect. You're in it with $1.2 million. So I took using Randy's most conservative covered call projections that our clients really do. And you don't have to worry about things going right. You only need to do it for a few years. So I figured instead of saving for 40 years, I figured a 10-year and a 20-year. The 20-year, you started off with the $6,000. Now you put that in the account. You never put another penny in. Outside the generation of the money in the account. At the end of 20 years, if you got your 5% a month, which our clients do, you're going to have $7,229,115. Now, that's not bad for 20, because you could retire at that point. What are you going to be, 45 years old? And if you only did it for 10 years, you'd have $2,093,000 versus you'd have to save another 30 years to have only $1.2 million using the old standard way of doing things. So it's a good article, and the article it's a pretty good article that I reprinted in there, quoted and reprinted, is simply because it just shows what's wrong. They assumed you were going to get 6% the entire 40 years, and some days you might get more. Right now, obviously, you'd be hardly getting 2 or 3, and so those numbers would be generous under the present conditions. Randy, I think we have a email. Oh shit, I don't have a screen up. Hey Dirk, there's an email in there, a gentleman asking about using the TSS for defensive or for other reasons. If you could pull it up.
Hey Joe, I'm in the podcast email. There's nothing there. Did you move it by chance?
No, I didn't.
Well, it's not there. It's we have the inbox for podcast is empty right now.
Now I know how Trump feels.
Yeah.
Yeah. People going in there and getting my mail.
So there you go.
Okay. Well, we'll address it next time. But the question was, when you're using the TSS, can you use the same calculator there for defensive as well as more aggressive ones where you're generating cash. And the answer to that is, I don't ever think that using TSS is defensive, because you're using the TSS to generate cash on a position that's dropped in value, and you want to generate cash based on what you paid for it, or the market value if it's higher. And then use it if you just don't want to ever get out of the stock. You have some kind of stock, something you inherited or something. You just want to generate cash forever. So really, those aren't necessarily defensive moves. Neither one of those. Well, I always say the second one wouldn't, but the first one, Randy, that wouldn't be defensive, would it? Randy,
Which one? What's that?
You wouldn't consider either one of those reasons for using the TSS strike price selector as a defensive move, right?
Well, you can use it as the offensive move.
Yeah, well, it's offensive, yeah, but now that now the one of them's defensive. So,
and I don't really consider the TSS really defensive. It's a way to generate income, whether the stock's going up or down. So
that's exactly that's what my thoughts.
It's great when it's going down. You can just generate money right and left with that TSS because we sell high and buy back low, and eventually the stocks usually come back up. When they go down, they come up.
Yeah, we have Keith on there. Hey, Keith, we were concerned it might be too cold up there.
Hey there.
Is it cold?
No, it's 65. Anyway, no, I was having problems with Firefox and finally had to get over to Internet Explorer to get on.
Oh, okay. So what's going on this? What's going on this week with your trades, Keith?
Well, we're just waiting to do a CMIC trade after the podcast today, and we're finally setting up to open another CSM trade here or two today or tomorrow. So just watching the charts and indicate a good time to do that.
Have you had any closeout this week?
None this week, no.
Yeah. So we're still up about 400% for the year, or something like that, right?
Yeah, it's like 450% for about. Well, it's a little more than a year, but for about the last 14 months, it's 450%.
Yeah. Okay, now I'm going to turn to the question I always ask these girls. What have they done this last Thursday? Now, Cezanne doesn't know, because she writes it down in the palm of her hand, and she takes a shower and it's gone.
And that's if she takes a shower.
Okay, so Joni, what have you done?
I've done 2 trades this week. So did one yesterday and today. Both trades were for a 3% profit, and each of those trades, we were in them for less than 40 seconds. So 6%, 6 point something percent for the week.
Yeah. And Cezanne, what about you? You had a good one a couple of days ago. It's what, over 10% or something, or 7%, or what was that? Now your mic's off, Cezanne. There you go.
Sorry. I did not write it down, but it was, I think it was around 7%. I know, I'm going to write them down this week.
You always say that, Cezanne.
Yeah.
Every week she says that.
Yeah.
That's
like the checks in the mail.
No.
Yeah.
I wrote them down at the beginning of the year. Today we did not have a trade. Today we had a couple of preps, but the tick dropped really fast in about 2 minutes. And the prices were moving too fast. So
yeah,
I'm going to write them down for this week, this coming up week.
No, okay, well, good. We should actually do it every time. How long have we been doing this now? A couple of months?
I know. I know. I'm going to write them down on paper and keep them.
Okay.
So we'll have them next week.
Okay. Randy, is this the first time we've had this since we got back from California, or second time?
Second time. Yeah, second time, because California was, I think, 2 weekends ago.
Have been getting some good emails, and a lot of them are in the Cal Report this weekend from people that were attending the California 2-day seminar at Manhattan Beach. And I remember the gentleman that flies for Alaska Airlines. Had his 2 sons there.
Yeah, was it Alaska or Hawaiian? Anyway, he was an airline pilot.
Yeah, exactly. And he said that in this email, he said that his wife has reported to him, because he's off flying, for a living, that his sons have been missing school because they're staying home trading.
They were pretty excited. They were both in high school, so they were pretty excited. I think they'll probably end up like Micah.
Yeah. They, he says that she says they become monsters.
Yeah.
And quitting, not going to school or anything. Well, that's my concept is, Oh, and how I always love these people that want their kids to go to college and they become laborers when they get out, because that's what they're going to college for. They can get a job. And now a few colleges have come up with the idea to help, so kids don't have to borrow so much money to go to school. They're going to just sell a piece of themselves. So when they get out of people that give them money, they will give them some money back every month or so. And
so some college educations will cost an arm, and some will be an arm and a leg.
Exactly. So, yeah. Also, I was telling y'all before and for the people out there listening, before they cut on the mic here, that I get constantly recognized as Anthony Hopkins, particularly when I have on my hat. So we have a gentleman out in California that said he was attending the podcast. He said, when I was in Puerto Rico, I was wearing this hat. And he said, "You look just like Anthony Hopkins." And I couldn't believe he said that, because I get mistaken for him all the time. But the good thing about it, it was around noon, and it made me really want some fingers. So I went out and got some fingers, fried fingers. If you're whatever. Okay, Dirk, what's coming up? You're a man with knowing what's going on in the schedules. I think. Randy has a charting seminar coming up
this week.
This week, yeah. Don't forget, Dirk was going to remind you this, but we'll do it right now. The time changes this Sunday, and your time doesn't change out there, so be sure that you got the right time.
Yeah, Randy and I talked about it yesterday. I just wanted to make sure, since he didn't change times, I didn't want to just let it slide by and just hope that we were all on the same page. But yeah, we do have the advanced charting seminar coming up this weekend. So that'll be Saturday and Sunday, and Randy will be teaching that.
Okay, very good. So, Cezanne, I know Joni or you were explaining to people on your seminar this morning about your all-day seminar coming up. You want to kind of let the people know about that?
Yes, it'll be April 3rd, which is a Monday. And we recently moved it to Mondays as opposed to Fridays, because we generally get more movement in the market. And we start about 30 minutes before the market opens. And then we are there for the entire trading day, except for lunch. And we do, usually in that first 30 minutes, we might do a real money trade. And then we spend the rest of the day teaching the streaming charts. We touch on some advanced charting, because we use advanced charting as well. And we do a lot of virtual trading throughout the day, setting up positions and exiting for profit. And we also we set them up to intentionally have to exit for small losses to show how we use those charts. So it's a great day. We do a lot of virtual trading, and people can reattend. And that's obviously one of the most important parts of our service is reattending, because every day is different in the market. So.
And when you're doing those brief seminars, the one you do on Thursday, like today, the longer seminar,
yes.
You use real money on those. You're not using real money.
Right. We do, or we'll say, if we do a virtual trade, we'll say it's virtual. But generally, the regular webinars, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, would be real money trades.
Yeah. Keith, what have you got coming up?
Nothing on a trading or a teaching weekend, but got the webinars every Tuesday at noon East Coast time or 11 Central time, and usually go hour and a half, and that's good. I've been getting some good questions the last couple weeks, and it's a great way to ask questions on the credit spread trading and what we're doing on that service. And
okay. And you're also doing real trades, and you're up for, I guess, about, give or take a month, the last 14 months, around 400% or so.
Yeah, but about 450% on that. So, yep.
Well, I'm going to be going down to Puerto Rico on Tuesday of next week, and so our next podcast here, I'll be down there, and we'll still try to get. I still haven't gotten out around the island, and done my little broadcast from around the island, like at the pool,
The roving reporter.
The roving reporter, that's right. So Marcus, do you have anything exciting to announce? Some new technological breakthrough you've done where people are going to be able to reach in and touch and grab our necks or on the screens or something like that?
No, nothing earth-shattering to announce this week, but check in next week. You never know.
Okay, very good. Okay, well, we'll just have a short day today, and next time I'm going to have to keep my browser up so I can read those emails. Dirk, I don't know why I didn't erase those emails. This is an FBI thing. I'm pretty sure we have to get into this.
Well, Joe, we don't want to forget to mention our free Tuesday night introductory webinar.
Absolutely, Randy does his introductory webinar every Tuesday evening, 7 Central to 9 Central. It's free and it's live. You can hear people asking questions. You're seeing the screens and everything. You can ask questions or just listen or do whatever you want to do. And also, you need to go to our site, compoundsstockearnings.com, and sign up for the free Cal report. It comes out every Friday. It's always dated on Saturday. It comes out every Friday. And it's been being published now for about 15 years. So you can really see what's going on in CSE because all the emails that come in, I put in that Cal report no matter what they say, unless people say don't put them in there. And so you can really see the kind of questions they're asking and how they're doing the returns. You also see the responses back from Randy and Cezanne and Jody, all these folks do the different techniques. So it's really a good newsletter to read. You go and do all that. You can also do everything else on the website. Sign up for seminars. Dirk is already working on our what special? Spring.
Our upcoming Easter special.
Easter special. That's right. Okay. Well, very good. Well, anybody else have any last comments? No? Okay.
We're all muted. We've been talking the whole time.
Why do you
Joe does that so that he can have all the talking time.
I don't know why Cezanne has the biggest mechanical problems here.
And then he asks us a question. He's like a dentist. Like, they're cleaning your teeth and they ask you a question you can't answer.
That's right.
We're muted. We can't answer fast enough.
Oh, I was watching the debate they were having this morning over the Obamacare, and somehow I got off into these committees trying to reduce government spending, and some of the things that they had spent money on was one of them was $1.5 million on computers watching one of these sitcoms.
Yeah.
And it was about the neighbors. Some neighbor had all the women living on one block. What show was that?
Oh, one of the housewives of whatever.
Housewives?
Exactly, yeah. And the purpose was to get how people reacted in those kind of situations. But the other one, Cezanne, which I thought was 750,000, they did a complete study on why people don't like their dentist.
They could have just called me.
They could have just called you. You have that amount, right? Sorry.
Right.
Okay. Well, we'll call it quits, and hope everybody comes back next week. If you have any questions, just call and or email, and we will address them. Thank you, Marcus. We'll see everybody later.
Bye.
So long, everybody.
Bye.
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 Bye.